Welcome to the Reporting Share-a-thon and you. My name is David Epstein, and the Reporting Share-a-thon this year is on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the final week of April. I'm going to cover briefly the history of this Share-a-thon, how it came about, and what the Share-a-thon is. It's actually a working session. All the participants of the Share-a-thon will break into corners, and each corner will have subgroups. I'm also going to discuss the schedule of the Share-a-thon and then what it is you will be doing prior to the event. All participants will take a survey or two surveys if you want to participate in 2 days. You'll be sending emails, you'll be doing research on the community, and you will be making contributions to the corner that you are participating in prior to the event. During the event, you're going to be working in a subgroup on some sort of deliverable. A brief introduction to the history of the Share-a-thon. I was asked at work, "Hey David, you've been doing Workday for over 7 years. How should we use report tags? What are the best practices for this feature?" I immediately thought, that's a great question. So I said, that's a great question. And then I thought, oh, I don't know for certain the answer to this. So I said, let me get back to you on this one. The next thing I did was call some friends, and I asked, how do you use report tags? I got various answers. For example, report tags are great. We do this and we do that. Slightly different answer. Report tags are mostly good, but you have to be careful for this or that. I even had one person say, well, report tags, they're not really worth the work, and there's some issues with using them. So we went through and took them all out. So I searched on the Workday community for best practices, in particular for report tags. Not only did my network of friends have varying opinions on report tags, sure enough, in the Workday community, there was no one place that had best practices for report tags or for other report features for that matter. So I posted back in July of 2015, and this page now has over 5,000 reads. Based on the popularity of that page, I divided a couple weeks later several topics and created one page for each topic. For example, this page here specifically for report tags, you'll see that this page only has 166 reads, and actually there are only 2 comments. To be fair, it's okay sometimes if there's only 1 comment, although this is a best practices and it's probably a good idea to get as many opinions as possible, because there are all different types of Workday customers with different sizes, different focus, and a different number of people who write reports and write calculated fields. After a few months of discussion as to what to do next, I was finally told just go ahead and post on community, and we'll see if anybody in the Bay Area wants to host a Share-a-thon. This page now has over 4,000 reads and over 150 comments. One of the reasons there's so many comments on this page is because at the very end I said, if you're not in the Bay Area and you would like to join by WebEx, let me know and we could figure it out. Well, there were over 40 comments in the first 48 hours after posting this on the Workday community. It took a few months before actually scheduling the Reporting Share-a-thon. Now there is an FAQ. The very first question on this FAQ is an important one. It says, is this a working session? It's from somebody named Yasmin who does something like this within the team she works with every week. So I copied her post. There's a lot of very important aspects or parallels between her post and the Reporting Share-a-thon. For example, in her post, she says every Friday they have a meeting via WebEx, and that's what we're doing. The Reporting Share-a-thon is going to be over WebEx. She also mentioned that they generally do research prior to the meeting, And sure enough, that's what you'll be doing. All participants need to do some preparation before attending the Share-a-thon. She mentioned that it's her team that gets together and then they group together related topics, and this is what you will be doing too. You will be working in subgroups within your corner. Her meeting starts with a quick round robin, and then what's decided is the items that are going to be discussed. Depending on your corner lead, this is probably what you're going to do also when we break out into separate corners. Yasmin also mentioned that together they come up with a solution that works, and indeed there is a deliverable. By the end of the Share-a-thon, you're expected to have something to share with the community. She mentions that her team have all gained invaluable knowledge by using this approach, and sure enough, this is something that each and every one of you, just by participating, will surely learn a lot more about Workday reporting. Finally, she mentions that they often will search in community if needed, and this is also something that you will do for sure during the reporting Share-a-thon. So how exactly are all of you, a very large community with various backgrounds, various needs, and various areas of Workday reporting that you'd like to focus on, how are we going to get you all into one place? The first step was to ask you all for what your interests are. Pick your top reporting areas that you'd like to focus on during the Share-a-thon. By looking at the results of the survey, it became clear that there were enough separate groups that we could go across 2 different days and have approximately 4 groups on each day. So we started calling these groups corners. After 2 days of the Share-a-thon groups, the third day, Thursday, will be the presentation day. Remember from Yasmin's post that they always start with a round robin, so as soon as you break into your corner, you will also start with a round robin, or your corner lead will decide for you what sort of subgroups there will be within your corner. Every corner has a lead, so this is a picture of one corner, and then within the corner there are subgroups, and ideally each subgroup would have a helper. Besides the lead and the helpers, the rest of you are the participants. Once again, this is a picture of a corner, and in this corner there are 3 subgroups. As the date for the reporting Share-a-thon comes near, we now have 3 corners for each day. This list is on the community on the FAQ page. What exactly will be covered on the 2 days for participants at the Share-a-thon? We'll start with an all hands. Everybody will be on a phone call, so essentially all ears on WebEx. After a brief intro, everyone goes into their corner. Here's a picture of you in the corner that you picked. So let's talk now about you. From your point of view, you went to the all hands, you heard me give a brief intro. You go to your corner, that will be a separate WebEx phone number for you to dial into. Your corner lead will facilitate and help everybody find each other who wants to work on the same topics, and you'll split into subgroups within your corner. You'll probably have a check-in within 1 hour of going into subgroups within your corner. You do have over 3 hours of the 4 hours to be working with your subgroup within your corner. The final approximate 45 minutes will be back into the all hands WebEx, and during that time, each subgroup of each corner can give a brief presentation about their plan for what the polished presentation on Thursday will contain. Now I'm going to talk about what it is you need to do prior to the Share-a-thon. You may have already taken the survey, which is how you register. You will have received an email from me or the corner leads. You yourself might post some of your materials or contributions on the community. You will do some research on the community, and you will use the community to help you prepare for the Share-a-thon. Now it's your turn. Do you have any questions for me about the reporting Share-a-thon? If you do, go to the FAQ page on community, and you could post there or on any of the various posts from me and the corner leads about this year's reporting Share-a-thon. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you or hearing you on the WebEx.